Hello guys and welcome back. If you didn't watch the previous video tutorial, I recommend you to go ahead and watch it, because today we will continue what we already started in the previous tutorial. So what we have from the previous tutorial, we have this login form, and we submit this form using AJAX right now. And also we have a database, which is a tutorial in my case, and also I have a users table, and in this users table I have a new user, and the nickname is admin and the password is admin12. I also have a session column which is empty right now. So right now we have about 5 files. We have an AJAX map, and here we have our login.php file. There is the CSS map with the CSS file, the JS file where we can find our JavaScript file, which has the AJAX function, and also we have our jQuery library. We have the connection to the database in config.php file, and then we have our index.php file, which has the HTML code for our form. Alright, so the functionality of our script right now is just to check if there is any user with the password and the nickname that the user entered in this form. So for example, if we enter here admin and then the password, I just write some stuff and then click enter, and if the password doesn't match with the password from the database, it will let you know that the nickname or password is incorrect. And then even if you just click on enter button and you don't write anything in your fields, it will still show that the nickname or password is incorrect. So today we will add some more stuff in this file. These are our files. So we have this config.php file, which looks like this. I didn't change anything yet here, so everything looks like it looks in the previous tutorial. We have the login.php file, we have the index.php file with the HTML code, we have our CSS file, and then we have our JavaScript.js file where we can find our AJAX function. So our AJAX function calls the login.php file after the user clicked on the enter button. So let's go to our login.php file, and I will I made already some changes here, and I will tell you what changes already I'm going to do right now. And actually we will have a function which will filter the data from the login form, and also we will have a function which will generate a session, and that session we will save in the database. We will save it right here, and then we will save the same session to user's cookie. Like we will set up a new cookie, and that cookie will have the same session from the database. Alright, so I will just paste the new code here, and I will explain everything because I want to save time and make it as short as possible. And this video, make this video as short as possible. So we have here our function session. This function generates a session, you see here. And then also we have the filter function, and this function is gonna filter the nickname and the password in this case. And also we have the function, the login function, which is the same function's name from the previous tutorial. And what basically we have here, we check if the user entered any information in the login form. So in case the nickname field or the password field is empty, we check it right here, then we will show that all fields are required. In case our script found some information in the nickname field and the password field, and both of them aren't empty, then we assign to to DB variable the new connection class, which means that we just assign to this variable the connection to the database, which is right here, and then we generate a session. So we assign to a session variable a session generated by the session function, which is right here, because it's gonna return a session, right? And then it will be 10 characters long. And also we filter the nickname and the password through filter function, right? So this filter function from here. After we filter the nickname and the password, we basically here we just allow only lowercase letters. I know here I put some different characters, but I will just want to show you that this works and how it works, so you can understand. This is just an example. And then we remove the special characters, so we allow only letters from A to Z and numbers from 0 to 9. Alright, so after we do all this stuff, we want to remove the spaces before and after the nickname or the password. And then after we do all and then after we just return the nickname or the password. And then we have our login function, and this function, actually, when we call this function checks if the user entered any information in the nickname field and the password field, and then we check if the nickname and then we check here if the nickname is empty, which means if there is no information in our nickname field, or if there is no information in our password field, then we will show all fields are required. Alright, and then if the user entered any nickname and password, then we go ahead and assign the connection to the database to our DB variable, and then we assign to the session variable a session which will be generated by our session function, which is right here. And also we want to filter the nickname and the password, so we go through this function from here. And also I forgot to filter the session. We should filter our session as well, so I will do it right now. Session, and I'll copy it. Alright, so we filter the session, we filter the nickname, and then the password. After we are done with the filter, we go and we write here a query which does this. Actually, it goes to our users table, and is looking for a user which has the nickname entered by our user and then the password. And then if it found any user, then you will show welcome and then the user's nickname, and then the nickname that the user entered in the login form. And after this, after we show welcome, we just go ahead and find that user, and find the user that has the nickname entered by our user from the login form, and we just update the session column. So we assign to the session column the session that is generated by our session function, right? So what it means, basically, we save this session to the database, and now we will create another cookie, and this cookie will be saved in user's browser, and this cookie will have the name session, and we'll get the same session, right? We'll get the same session as we saved it in the database. Alright, and after we create the cookie, we will show a JavaScript code which will redirect the user after 1500 milliseconds. It will redirect it to the index.php file. But in case our script didn't find any user, with the nickname and password entered by our user, then it will show the nickname or the password is incorrect. And then here we just assign to our user variable a new user object, and then we just call the function login from our user object. And let's save this file. And then we want to go ahead, because our user is redirected to the index.php. Let's go to our index.php, and here we will add also some PHP code, and I will just paste it because I want to save time. And I will go ahead and explain everything here. So we call our config.php file, which has the connection to the database, and also we will write here a new class. We create a new class which is login, and then in this class we will create another function which has the user online. We name it user online. And then what actually this function does? This function checks if there is any cookie in the user's browser which has the name session. So if it finds any cookie that has the name session, then we assign to the DB variable the connection to the database, and then we filter and then we assign to the user SAS variable the, let me delete this one, it shouldn't be here. So we assign to our user SAS variable the session from our cookie, from our session cookie, right? And we want to filter it a little bit as well, because I mean, at least a little bit, because if there is somebody who wants to change the session from the cookie and write there some different stuff than it's in the database, you know, we want to allow only, so we don't want our user to be able to insert in the database while they are checking the tables, insert any other stuff than our session. So we just filter here. We allow only characters from A to Z and numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, and it's supposed to be lowercase already from the previous filter, from the previous function here. And then we select the ID from users table where the session it's equal to the session that our user has in its cookie. So yeah, we go in the database, we are looking for an ID, for an user ID which has the session that the user has in the cookie. So in case there is a user with such session, this function will return true. In case there is no user with such session, it will return false. And also in case our function didn't find any cookie which has this name, which has the session name, then it will return also false. Here we have just our HTML code like in the previous tutorial, and I just put some PHP code, I pasted some PHP code. So we have a login variable, and we assign to this variable a new login object. So we assign this class, and then we check, does user online function from login class return true? So we will get a result, or true or false, right? So if this function returns true, it means the user is online. It means the session, it means it has the same session as it has in the database. Like oh, I'm sorry about that. It means it has the same session in the cookie as it has the session from the database. So basically it means that the user the session from the database matched with the session from the cookie, and this means that the user is online. So we will show this, we will show here you are online, and then we will have another link which is exit.php. In case this function doesn't return true, it means or the user doesn't have this session, this cookie, or this function didn't find any user with the session from the cookie. So it will just show the response, and then it will show the HTML form. And then let's go ahead and save this. I saved the login.php, I saved the index.php, and I'll go ahead and check our form. I'll just refresh it. So let's go ahead and click enter, and it will tell us all fields are required, right? Because it checks there is no information in those fields. So let's click again, and then let me write something here. I will write admin, and then I'll write just 1 2 3 4, and I will click enter, and it will tell me the nickname or password is incorrect. And now let's enter the right admin. I will introduce the information from our database. So this admin, and then the password is admin12, and I will click enter. It will tell me welcome admin, and after 1500 milliseconds it will redirect me to the index.php, and then we have here our exit.php link. And you may ask yourself, hey, but the login form is also on the main page, and how does in the main page, and our login.php redirects our user to the index.php. So basically we just refresh this page using a AJAX function, right? Because the script runs in a different place, in a different folder. So we just redirect the user to index.php, which means we just refresh this page, and then when we refresh this page, this function checks if the user is online or offline. So as you see here, now we should create another file, which is exit.php. So I'll just go ahead and create another one, and I will paste it here, and then I will save it, and I will save it in my folder. Oops, this is exit.php. Alright, so what we have here, we also require the config.php, we require the connection to the database. We have the same filter function that we have on our login.php file, and we assign to db variable the connection object. And after that, we just update the user. With that, we go to our user, to the user table from the database, and we update the session, the user session, where so basically it goes on the database and is looking for a user that has the session that we already have in our cookie, and then it gets that user and just will update the session column to the new session. So the new session right now is null, which means that it will just remove the session from the database. And after that, we just remove the cookie from the browser. So after we remove the cookie from the browser, we just redirect the user, redirect it to the index.php. So I save this file, and let's check this on how it works. So if I click exit, it will redirect me to the index.php, and I don't have any cookie right now in my browser for this website, and I also will check the session. It's still null, but let me try again so you will see. And we also will check our filter, how it works, our filter. So right now we should have a session that has only a lowercase letters and only numbers from 0 to 9. But basically this function will return a session with uppercase too. So let's see here. let's write admin and then admin12, and then let's check the database, and we see here we have a session, so the same session we have in our cookie. Alright, let me click exit, and then you see that it removes the session. And now what I'm planning to do is to remove the filter for the session, right? I'll remove it from here so we don't filter the session right now. And then let's go ahead and log in again. Okay, and then if we check now the session, you see we have uppercase here too. We have an L, you see, and yeah, that's what this function, that's what this filter does. And I did some changes in the style CSS file as well, and I will just paste it here. So I'm gonna paste the new code, and I changed the background color, and I wrote some style for our links in the container ID. It's actually for that exit. This is for this exit link. And then I wrote here a margin button, 5 pixels for our response class, which is right here. And then I wrote some style for our fields, for our text type field, email type field. We don't have right now an email type field, but we will use it in the next tutorial. File type field, and then password. You can see here, like we have type text and then password. So I also wrote some different style for our submit button, which is right here. And let's go ahead and save this file, and let's check it. So it changed the background, it changed the color, text color, and then the link. You see there's a small style. I mean, let's click exit, and then this form looks like this before we sign in. And then let's write here admin and then admin12 and click enter, and we will see also it shows a white color. Our text is not black anymore like before. And the JavaScript JavaScript file, I didn't change anything here, so it's the same file as in the previous tutorial. We have here the PHP file that the AJAX function calls, and then post type. I mean, yeah, we have this data type, also HTML, and then we send our data from our form through post method. And basically everything. I mean, I didn't change anything here. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to post them in your comments to this video, and I will also write in the description the link to my website where you can find all these codes, and you can copy them. But I recommend you to write these codes by yourself from this video, because like this you'll remember better, because you'll write it. So it's better than just, you know, copy it like this and paste it in wherever you need. But I'll just post it there just in case. And yep, thank you very much, and see you in the next video tutorial.